Well, it's -9, March 12th here today, so we got to get rid of some liquid fert. So let's go and do that. We're going to use the Patriots, only the Patriots. We're not going to use the Deer or the Trident for this. The reason why is these are the ones, they already have the fert caps on. Let's see if I can find that cap for you. See that one right there? That gray one? See how it has 3 holes in it? That's a streamer. That means that's all we got to do is just rotate that over and we're ready to rock and roll. So the reason why we're going out in the morning -9 is because the fields are still a little bit muddy yet. So let's get to getting. Stop talking, get loading before it warms up. But before we start the new year, we're gonna move everything over. So this is our file manager. These are all the jobs. There's like a lot of them, right? There's tons of jobs that we did last year, 2020. So they were all over here. I just moved them. Then I just hit this little trash can because I don't need to store this anymore. We actually have documentation already. This is just what the monitor is holding, and I just want to delete the monitor. Yep, permanently delete it from the system. And wait, what's going on here? Nope. Move them over there. It's been a while since I did this. Yes. No. Delete. No, that's not what I want to do. Okay, it's been a while. Do you want to? Yes. Okay. Okay. Little touch screen. So anyway, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want a fresh monitor for 2021. There it is. It's gone. Bing, bang, kaboomba. Okay, Mr. Monitor. Maybe we should do a touchscreen recalibration. There we go. Go back into, it's been a while. I think we got to go here. Nope, here. There, perfect. And then we just start job. Ready to rock and roll. So, yeah, let's get loading. There's our pump, hooked right in these steel tanks. We don't use liquid anymore, but we want to get rid of this liquid and free up these tanks that we can use for water or maybe even fuel or something. Okay. And then this is Agitation. So what this is, here, I'll get it in the sun for you. I just like kicking them around, I don't know why. But anyway, this stuff stabilizes the 28. So this liquid fertilizer is 2800, so it's nitrogen. It's also got a little blend of sulfur in there as well because they were pre-blended, and that will stabilize it. Mike, what do you mean it's going to stabilize it? We're only going to use 1 jug there, Lee. The reason we need to stabilize it, oh, and we can't just dump it in the tank actually either. Yeah, hold on, just hold on 1 sec there. The reason why we have to stabilize it is because if you just dump it on dry ground, as soon as it gets warm out, you can actually, your fertilizer can actually gas off. That's why I'm not a big fan of just, like, a lot of guys can go out and they blow it on, granular, they blow it on, and or liquid, they dribble it on. And unless it's treated, it can gas off, or depending on the conditions. So anyway, it's going to be treated. That way it won't gas off, or minimal gas. It will actually go for, should hold it for about long enough that we want to start tilling the ground, start seeding. Long story short, Mike's got to get going. So yeah, we got to get pumping here. All right, so we're pumping. So yes, you see an air compressor there. That's because you got to bubble these tanks for a very long time because they settle out fertilizer. They have maybe 6 inches worth of sludge on the bottom of those tanks, so you gotta bubble it, turn it, pump it, turn it, bubble it. It doesn't like sitting for long periods of time. So you gotta do that at least once a year. And you gotta do it when the weather's somewhat warm. Now that we're pumping here, we're just checking for any leaks. We have our chem inductor. That's how we're gonna put this green crap in. And then we're really going to find out if we have leaks when we turn the pumps on. Please let there be no leaks. Yep, we got leaks. Okay, so what this isn't fertilizer. It's antifreeze. It's how we winter them. It's because all these are still open. We winter it. We run antifreeze through the whole system, and tank, and boobs, and nozzles. Then we just open these to drain anything out. And really to close every one of these, you need to be boomed out in the field. So what we're going to do is we're going to just dump this Agitation right in the tank for this load, go out to the field, close all these off, Then we can agitate. You don't really have to agitate the fertilizer. Remember, it's already been bubbled. We just wanted to mix the Agitation in there, which we will when we're in the field. It probably takes about 2 minutes to do. So no fertilizer was lost, just antifreeze. All right, let's get this stuff in here. And it's kind of a green sludgy, not normally is it sludge, but if it's not shook up real good, it could be. How do you know how much to put in? It tells you on the jug for how many gallons your tank is. So put a little more in here. That's good. Perfect. All right. Okay, we brought the other sprayer up over there. Lee did. We are actually climbing on top of the sprayers, closing all these valves right now. So this one is done. We are agitating. We're at about the 400 mark there, and it will turn this stuff just about green now. We're agitating up that Agitation. All right. Oh yeah, I figured you guys probably have some questions like, Mike, how can you be out running the sprayer when you can see your breath clearly out here? -9, got down to -15 Celsius last night. How you moving liquid around? Because this is liquid fertilizer, and that does not freeze. Okay, it gets a little bit thick, but it doesn't freeze. So we're good. And you want to put it down in the cold. And you typically want to put it down just before you start seeding. That way you don't lose too much. Hopefully we don't lose any, but let's be honest with ourselves. All right, guys, and on the road we go. We got a little ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, I think our sprayer's been sitting a little while with these floaters on here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So yeah, we do run the Viper 4 monitors. Big fan of the Viper 4 monitor. But yeah, you know what I said. Aim Pro, you can take that off and hock it in a ditch somewhere. Yeah. On the new ones, they incorporated everything, so that's pretty awesome. Okay, we're gonna boom out. Just hit this little auto switch. And out it goes. It does both at once, but I only have one hand, and this is the direction we're looking. Look how dry it is. Like I should be seeding. Yeah, I see there's still snowbank in the ditch there, but hopefully we're gonna get going here pretty quick. Mike, it's still freezing to -10 freaking at night. Holy crap. Yeah, I know, the ground's still pretty cold. But early bird gets the worm. Unless you put it in the ground and it rots, but that is a possibility. Mike, what do you mean it could rot? Hey, if it's not up in like 2 weeks, you know, if the ground isn't actually warm enough to germinate the crop, there is a risk of it, the seed rotting in the ground before it actually can germinate. True story. There we go. So then what you want to do is you got to rotate all these over here. So we got different combinations for different types of chemicals that we want to put down. But here, let me show you. So if they are a combo jet like this and look like this, then that means we use them for spray, liquid spray. But if it's like this with 3 holes, see the difference? Pretty big difference. I like to think that you guys can see that. This is for liquid fertilizer. This is to stream it. 3 streams of fertilizer like this on the ground, okay? So then you rotate these things over like that. Done deal. So I'm gonna get cracking on that, okay? Okay. All right, now once we've done that, we've got our pump on. We're just gonna see if anything's gonna come out of there. Oh, it's starting to sprinkle. See it? See it coming out? Oops, sorry about that. Looks like it's raining out of there. That's exactly what we want. So now that we know it's working, we're turning our sectional control on. We turned it off just so that way we could stop and just check. So we turn our AccuBoom control on. So that means we have 7 sections on this sprayer right here. And that means that it will automatically shut the sections off as you come into applied area. Over here is our auto boom. Just tap down on that. Alright, we're all green. Those are how many inches. They have to take a little while to kind of work themselves out. And then we're pretty much off to the races here. All right, we're painting green. I don't know if you guys can see that out there. Try and hold as still as I can. Not working too good, I'm sorry, but we're in the field. And we're top dressing. So what we're doing is we're putting on about 50% liquid here, and then like 50% of our nitrogen needs. And then when we actually seed this, we'll put the other 50% down the mid-row banders of the Borgo drill. If you guys can see that out there. You really can't, I apologize, you really can't see it. Whoa!
I'm back in the cab, check my nozzles.
Right over the snow. Don't worry. It's not water we're putting on it. She'll melt her way right through. We're on the frost here still. It's still cold out this morning, so that's good. That way we're not making ruts out here. I'm just, this is what I don't like. See if you guys can see that. You see all those yellow ones in there? You see all those yellow bars? That's a lot of those little nozzles that it's saying that aren't working. They're either plugged or there's a little spring and stuff in there, and they can get kind of plugged. We're just going to run with it here just a little bit. Lots of times they'll work themselves out of it because it's been sitting for a long period of time. If it doesn't, we're going to have to go out and do some cleaning. What would they get plugged on? Great question. Fungicide, but we didn't spray fungicide last. It would have been just Roundup in these things. And then we would have flushed them and then antifreeze them. So, and sometimes the solenoids just go bad. How much for a solenoid? Great question. Oh, they're like a couple $100. And there's 72 of them. So, yep. Oh yeah, you might be able to see out there. I don't know if you can see that out there or not. No, you really can't see. We're not breaking any speed records. We're only doing about 9 miles an hour because we're spraying at, we're dribbling at 13 gallons. And our caps are really only made for 10. So we have to go a little slower to get the job done. When do we hope to get seeding? That's another great question. Probably a couple weeks. Hopefully we're going here in a couple weeks. Maybe even earlier. Or maybe we'll get a weather anomaly or get 3 feet of snow here. You just never know. This is Saskatchewan. So I had one section that wasn't spraying, and I'm like, sometimes those electric ball valve motors get a little stuck in there, or maybe the motor's bad. So I like to just pop the pin out, see what's in there. Sometimes I try and turn the ball valve by hand, just to make sure it's not stuck. You know, make sure the motor isn't actually powering out. Well, anyway, I'm doing all this. No big deal. I'm in my own little world, just enjoying myself. Yeah, that's not mud. That's fertilizer. So I just went up to the ball valve, the motor, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna pop this thing out, and I popped the little pin out that keeps it in. I'll show you after. And instantly, I felt serious pressure, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I forgot to turn the pump off on the sprayer, so it's not spraying, but it's pressured right up. So I was holding it, I'm like, oh man, and meanwhile it already lifted itself up. It was all I could do to hold down on it. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be bad. Mike's gonna lose his clothes again. And I was like, oh shoot, because I'm holding it like for all my worth, right? And I can't just go and run into the cab to shut the pump off. So as you can see, it got away from me. I'm like, poof! And it was like old Mother Geyser down there in Yellowstone or wherever it is. It just went, poof. You know, I don't know, there's like 100 pounds pressure on it or something. And of course I didn't shut the valve off, right? So now gravity is also going to assist us here because it wants to run out of the tank. But anyway, you don't have to worry about gravity. She is pumping it out of the tank. And I'm like, poof, geyser. I'm like, and it just soaked me with liquid fertilizer, and this stuff's like glue. It's like super sticky, and it's probably gonna eat everything right up. We're gonna test the quality of this hoodie and see if it can be soaked in liquid nitrogen. So anyway, I'm tearing back at Mach 27 to get into the cab of this thing to try and shut my pump off. I shut my pump off, and old guy there went come down, but now it's still gravity feeding, so I'm trying to get my boom up in the air to, you know, oh my goodness. This is a classic Mike. Welcome to 2021, baby. It's gonna be an awesome year. Oh man. Alright, so here's our little pin. See? That fertilizer is gonna fertilize the ground so good it won't even grow anything. So you just stick it right in here. Right there. See? And you just push it in like that. And then that holds it in. So what I did is I just like doopy 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 went like that. And it also went boom. And I'm like, oh shoot, oh shoot. And then yeah, as you can tell. And then if you pick this up, if you want to actually pull up on this, it's probably still going to gravity feed. Whoa! Just like that. Okay. Okay, let's get it back in. How about? Shoot. Okay, I might have to let you guys go here. Okay. Okay, I tell you what. Let's not do that again. I put it back on. Yeah. You know, I think the worst thing about all this is when I got my hoodie and pants wet, I got my mask a little, like it's already dirty and kind of quite disgusting actually. But I also got my mask quite wet with fertilizer as well. So that's going to be a fun time next time I go to the co-op or something. I'm going to stick that on my face. You know, all the masks, you know, that's just a real great thing and all, but I'm pretty sure masks are the new cigarette butts because they're absolutely everywhere and they're quite disgusting, to be quite honest with you. Good thing we're saving germs because we're just reusing our old mask for about 60 days. Oh, you guys don't do that? Okay, so this motor has died. Don't worry, we have another motor and it just works as a plunger. So when you turn on your master switch, which way is it, goalie? Goes in? In. Anyway, it's a plunger for this section here, okay? I guess I'm assuming up with flow or down or whatever. Either way, it's that plunger. It's this valve. We're gonna put a new one on and then hopefully this section's gonna turn on. But we still are full and there's no real way of making the flow stop. Yes, you can shut it off at the tank. Yes, you can shut it off over at the battery, so on and so forth, but there's always some flow. So either way, it's gonna be dirty. I already changed because I was already soaked last time, and now it's Lee's turn. So I guess I'm gonna do it. Actually, Mike's gonna do it. So this is the one we want to quickly change it out to. And I pulled out this
pin here.
That pin, yeah. Pulled out that pin. So I'm just gonna try and do this very quickly, okay? So maybe just back up a little.
It's like a grenade. You pull the pin.
Alright. There we go. Just like that. Didn't even get dirty. You want to grab me that pin?
Yep.
And that's with all my valves off. Or closed. Okay, now in theory, this one we can take off. It doesn't work. We just changed the motor. Now that we've done that, we're trying to fix all these solenoids. We're taking some apart. This is what we found here. See that? Hold on. It's a great big old hunk of plastic. You know where that plastic came from? Most likely from chemical jugs. When we use splitters to split those chemical jugs, they get stuck in here. Here's another one. Hold on, let me get a little. There it is. There, you got it out already. There it is. And then it keeps that solenoid from working. And so, remember when I told you there was like 20 some of them or something like that? Well, there's a lot. So we got to pull these things apart, and of course there can be a little bit of pressure there. And pick out any hunks of plastic that might be in there and put it back together, and hopefully we're back to the races, right, Lee?
Yep. Can't cut it with a rag. I can't ruin my nice Slave Hope farms.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. Okay. Now we're on this one. This one wasn't doing anything either. You can tell there's like lots of little, like you can tell something's wrong with this one, something's wrong with that one. There's obviously a lot wrong with this part, my shadow. Nothing there. What have we got? Ha! Hold on, let me zoom in on that. Wow. Okay, so the reason why, oh, hold on. I gotta take my gloves off. Oh. Hold on. The reason why that's so bad is that's actually chemical, and it's because it's on the end. You're on the end. So the end one will always be worse. Why? Because it can just flow right past these ones, hit the dead end, and it wants to get out. It's got nowhere to go but out. All your end nozzles are most prone to plugging. That's a fungicide. That's exactly what that is. Yummy! Corn chowder. That's all that is. Just want to nibble on some of that. Okay, so if you pull this piece here off and find, okay, it's clean, then you can actually separate the solenoid in two. And there's a little poppy. You want to pull that poppy out of there? That little poppy, that's what makes it go, because this is a PWM system, right? So it pulses, it pulsates, and that's how it does it. But look in here. This is our problem. See that? Hold on, right there. There's junk in there. So that junk can hide in many places. Most of the time it's plastic, sometimes a little chemical residue. And that's what we got to go along, and we got to do. Take all these off. Check this little poppy. And looks good. Okay.
A little bit more in there, actually. Just hidden up in there still.
Oh yeah, I see it. Oh, it looks good. Good enough. So then we just thread this puppy back on. And then we're off to the next one. Only 72 more to go. All right, we're done. We're boomed up. You see the fertilizer that we left right there? We've left multiple streams of fertilizer here. That's our dust control. A little more dust control over there. And so it's still flashing up. Hold on, see if I can focus on those yellows. See those yellow ones? Those flashing yellow ones? So that means they're actually clean. But like those... Rewind. Those yellow ones that you see is a failed aim, okay? But we've already checked them and they're clean. So that actually means that it's a failed aim. So I need 1, 2, 3, hold on, 4, 5, 6, 7, I need 8 new aims. Now I can keep dribbling, I'm not too worried about that. But I will put 8 new aims on at some point. Well, Mike, how do you know which ones they are? Because if you look here, you see on the bottom left it's counting 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. Oh, 54 is gone. Oh, 50. See, that's how I tell. That's how you tell. It counts them. And just so you know, it starts at 72 over there, or stops at 72, and starts at 1 over here. So you start at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and each one, each solenoid, each nozzle, because there's 72 nozzles. That's aimed. That's an aim. We call them an aim solenoid, okay? We gotta put 8 more on. All right, let's boom up.